Hey you guys, it's Ashley. Welcome to the Danger Zone. This is a warning to Meghan from the Queen. A coat of arms is the distinctive shield of a person, family, corporation, or country. Let's talk about Kate Middleton's coat of arms, for instance. It's a white horse with a closed mouth, sleek, well kept, with a dainty tail. Ears are back, which tell me she questions things, maybe a little apprehensive. Still, her mouth is closed. The face is not distressed. The eyes are not in trouble. I see the lion's mouth is open, which tells me that William is the loudmouth and the ruler. She might not like it, but she keeps her mouth shut and properly put together, always. Diana's coat of arms is extremely hurtful. She's a beast of almost a mutt, covered in club markings, her mouth open, tongue out, evil eyes, looking like she's at war. Her markings on the body remind me of what she looked like after she was murdered by the Queen. Charles is the lion, of course, looks like he is raising pure hell, with his mouth wide open and his tongue gaped out, like they are just in a constant argument, fighting over who rules the relationship. Look at the shackles and the chains. He's trying to keep her locked up, bound, and that's sad. The upside down clams worry me. The shield pattern looks exactly that of a Masonic symbolism. When she was murdered, a lot of Freemasons kept that secret and helped pull it off. Look at Camilla's coat of arms. She is symbolized as a warthog or a wild boar. Everybody knows that wild boars get what they're after in the end. Sad but true. And Philip told Charles during a talk he had about his relationship with Diana, give it 5 years, and if you don't like her still, go back to your paramour. That's a true pig. And remember, the Queen has to approve the coat of arms prior to their assignment. Aside from Diana's sad symbol covered in markings and Masonic symbols and upside down clams, let's take a look at poor little old Meghan Markle's coat of arms. It's just clearly a warning, and it scares me. It really does scare me. The Queen chose a songbird for Meghan. This particular bird has a different mating style from other birds. The songbird goes out in search for their mate, singing him songs to lure him in to lock him down. That alone is extremely disrespectful, in my opinion. The crown around the neck of the songbird supposedly represents a person marrying into royalty. However, if you look at it, what's the very first thing that comes to your mind? Does the crown look like it's strangling this bird? How can this songbird sing if it's being strangled? Speaking of strangled, Doria Ragland was made to sign a confidentiality agreement recently, silencing her from speaking about not just what goes on in the palace, but she can no longer speak about her own daughter to family, friends. That has pissed her completely off. She and Meghan are on the outs because of this. It's getting extremely messy. The Queen befriended her, took her in, and made her sign it in front of everyone and agree that she will not speak of any happenings with the palace, the Queen, or the like. And how can you not take, something you're proud of regarding your daughter and not talk about it with your friends and family? Anyway, it's pissed Doria completely off, causing a huge rift between mother and daughter, and that's extremely sad. But getting back to the songbird and the crown around its neck, if this songbird isn't strangling, then why does it look like the bird's gasping for air? The open mouth is said to represent the art of communication. How can this bird communicate with this crown pressed into its throat? And what's the Queen trying to say? Is she a slick talker? Meghan isn't someone who goes around to different places, giving speeches about love, peace, harmony, poverty, the need for water sources or food in desperate areas. I've never known this artful, powerful communication out of Meghan. I've just really I'm not familiar with her trying to spread her voice anywhere on any subject that wasn't really all about herself. She's a narcissist. Anyway, what about the fright in her eyes, in the songbird's eyes? There's no real excuse for the fright in that bird's eyes. Now think about it. A top-notch artist designed the coat of arms, this particular coat of arms. Why are these eyes not turned up friendly eyes? Instead, it's just a desperate expression on this bird's face. Now, keep in mind, the queen had to pass it. She had to approve this coat of arms. It's just it's a warning in my opinion. And of course, there's Harry. He's a smaller lion, kind of further back from the shield than the rest of his lions in the coat of arms in comparison. His mouth is open, but it looks a little smaller to me. He's trying to rule over her, but he lacks the confidence. So it's really an insult to him and a warning for her. But here's the saddest part of the situation. I hurt for this girl. Now I'm not a Meghan Markle fan, but I hurt for anybody that's being dogged and made the butt end of a joke. The most unattractive part of Meghan, the part that has brought her to tears during her time in the spotlight, the butt of so many jokes, the most ridiculed part on her body has been her legs. Harry was even caught prior to the wedding talking about her fawn legs. But her bird leg is propped up against the shield for all the world to see, to make her legs an even bigger joke. Her skinny little bird leg propped on that shield is the entire reason I feel in my heart that the songbird was chosen for Meghan. I don't know why they didn't just get a flamingo, to be honest. Why isn't the lion's leg hiked up? Because he's not on blast like she is. The queen is so cruel. She's such a cruel creature. I'm not a fan of Meghan's, like I said, but I really do hurt for her, and I'm sorry for her. And I'm sorry that she's just too blinded by these glittery things in her life right now to see what an insult that they chose the songbird, in my opinion. But the coat of arms is her identification for the rest of her life, with Harry anyway, and it'll definitely live on in the royal books until this planet falls to ash in space. I do think it's a warning for Meghan. I really do. You know, kind of like, look at our power that we can openly make you look like a fool and you can do nothing about it. If you sing like a bird, there'll be consequences. That's what I take from it. Would you really be shocked if she choked to death, died from an asthma attack, an allergic reaction, something that cuts her airway off? They're making a major joke of her. I'm just worried about her demise. Oh, and notice the flowers at the bottom. You know, it just shocks me. It shocks me that she doesn't see this stuff. I wish she would open her eyes for a minute. I really do. She doesn't notice, but those flowers, first thing that pop into my mind, you know, after thinking, my God, the bird's eyes are fearful and distressed, and her mouth, the bird's mouth is gaped open, and they're making fun of her bird leg by propping it, hiking it way up on the shield. I mean, all of that's terrible, but then they line it with flowers, and in my head, I'm kind of thinking, you know, Diana had these bruises in the shape of club marks all over her coat of arms character. But they've got flowers. I'd like to know, you know, what kind of flowers they have planted. They said it was to represent the flowers at the Kensington Palace. I don't buy that. I really don't. But it wouldn't shock me if she had an allergic reaction or an asthma attack due to some deadly flowers or something. I don't know. It's hurtful. And they need to remember, she needs to remember Diana and what happened to Diana. And if she thinks it's as simple as marrying into this family and violating a few rules and no big deal and not taking it that serious, she really needs to think it over and take a peek at the past, you know, and then look at her coat of arms and compare it with everybody else's coat of arms. So far, I think hers is as sick and sad as Diana's. And God bless her. That's all I can say. You guys be blessed. Thanks for being here.